To access the user menu, navigate to the Masters menu and select Users. Here, you'll see the existing users that are in the system. To add a new user, you need to click on the Create User button at the top. Once you click on the button, a form will appear where you'll need to fill in the required information for the new user. Let's go through each field. Start by entering a unique username for the user. This will be their login ID for accessing the system. Make sure to enter a unique username. If you enter a username that has already been taken, an error message will be displayed at the top as shown. Next, enter the user's full name. This name will be displayed in the system and on reports. Provide the user's mobile number. This number may be used for notifications and communication. Enter the user's email address. This email will be used for account-related communication and alerts. Select the department the user belongs to. This helps in organizing users within the company structure. Choose the branch where the user will be primarily located. This is important for branch-specific operations. Next, we'll configure the user's permissions and sales limits. You can allow the user to modify the selling price during transactions by selecting Yes or restrict this by selecting No. Assign the appropriate roles to the user. Roles determine what the user can access and do within the system. Set the user's status as either active or inactive. An active status allows the user to log in and perform tasks, while inactive will disable their access. Specify the maximum sales amount limit per invoice that this user can process. This helps in controlling large transactions. Set the sales amount limit per day to restrict the total amount of sales the user can process in a single day. Choose the device name that this user will be associated with for making sales. This links the user to a specific device. Determine if this user requires approval for each invoice they generate. Similarly, you can set an approval requirement per day if the user's total sales exceed a certain amount. Finally, decide if the user can choose branch when making a sale by selecting Yes or restrict them to their assigned branch by selecting No. Once you've filled in all the necessary information and configured the settings, click on Save to create the new user. The user is now successfully added to the system and can begin performing their assigned tasks based on the permissions and limits you've set. In order to edit the user profile, you can click on the pencil icon at the far right to open the Edit User form. Here you can make the changes you want and click on Save to save the changes. In order to view and edit user permission, you can click on the second icon at the far right to open the User Details form. Here you can click on the permissions you want to add or remove as shown. Once you are done with making changes, you can click on Save Permission to finalize the update.